Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the online lecture of General Knowledge GK. We are doing our revision of lesson number 2, part 3 and 4. So let's start. I will be sharing my screen. Hope I am audible to everyone. Okay, then let's start with our lecture. Welcome, my dear students, to the online lecture of General Knowledge GK. Today we will see lesson number 2, Indian Culture, part 3 and 4 revision. So let's start. Now, India is the land of a different variety of religions and caste with its own features and attributes. India is the only country where Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Sikhism, Christianity, and many other religions exist. So today we are going to see the religious books of these religions. So let's start with the first one, the Holy Book of the Jews. One of the oldest and most practiced religion is Judaism. Torah is the holy book of the Jewish. Here you can see the Torah is the holy book of the Jewish. The Talmud holds that the Torah was written by Moses, with the exception of the last 8 verses of Deuteronomy describing his death and burial. Moses, also known as Moshe Rabbeinu, is the important prophet in Judaism. The Torah, the first 5 books of Tanakh, outlines laws for Jews to follow. While you can find Jews is nearly in every country worldwide, but the nation with largest population of Jews is Israel. So here we can see the largest population country of the Jews is Israel. So here we can see. So Israel is the largest population with Jews. Moving to the next is the Holy Book of the Hindus. Hinduism is an Indian religion and dharma or way of life. It is the world's third largest religion with over 1.2 billion followers of the global population known as Hindus. So here we can see the Bhagavad Gita is the holy book of the Hindus. Bhagavad Gita, the Song of God, is collection of 700 verses from the great epic Mahabharata, composed millions ago by Ved Vyasa, a prehistoric sage of India. So here we can see the holy book of the Hindus is the Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is the Song of God, is a collection of 700 verses from the great epic of Mahabharata, composed million years ago by Ved Vyasa, a prehistoric sage of India. In Bhagavad Gita has teachings said to be given by Lord Sri Krishna, who is the supreme God. In this holy book, Krishna is talking to Arjuna, an archer, before the war of Kurukshetra. So here you can see Sri Krishna is having a talk with Arjuna. Arjuna is an archer before the war of Kurukshetra. Moving to the next is the holy book of the Buddhist. Buddhism is an Indian religion based on a series of original teachings attributed to Gautam Buddha. So, Buddhism is an Indian religion based on a series of original teachings attributed to Gautam Buddha. Its authorship is attributed to Harivarman, a 3rd century monk from central India. So, the holy book of Buddhism is Tripitaka. The Tripitaka is considered to be a record of the words of Buddha. The Pali Canon was written down in 1st century CE. This is the Pali Canon. So, Tripitaka contains the following sections. Vinaya Pitaka, this contains the rules telling the monks and the nuns how to behave with each other within society. So here we have seen the holy book of Buddhism is Tripitaka. Moving to the next is the holy book of the Sikh. Sikhism is a dharmic religion that originated in Punjab region of the Indian subcontinent around the end of 15th century CE. The holy book of Sikh is Guru Granth Sahib. The Guru Granth Sahib was composed predominantly by six Sikh gurus. They are Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ramdas, Guru Arjan, Guru Tej Bahadur. So here we can see Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of Sikh, was composed by 6 Sikh gurus: Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, Guru Amar Das, Guru Ramdas, Guru Arjan, Guru Tej Bahadur. The vision in the Guru Granth Sahib is of a society based on divine freedom, mercy, love, and justice. It is installed in a Sikh Gurudwara. A Sikh typically bows before it on entering such a temple. So here you can see the Gurudwara where the Guru Granth Sahib is kept. Moving to the next is the holy book of the Muslims. Muslims are people who follow and practice Islam. Quran is the holy book of Muslims. According to the Islamic beliefs, the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. The revelation started one night during the month of Ramzan in 1610 CE, when Prophet Muhammad, at the age of 40, received the first visit from Angel Gabriel. During the month of Ramzan, Muslims typically complete the recitation of the whole Quran during the Taraweeh prayers. The Quran is written in Arabic language. So here you can see the holy book of Muslim is the Quran, and it is believed that the Quran was revealed to Prophet Muhammad And the revelation started one night during the month of Ramzan in 610 CE, when Prophet Muhammad, at the age of 40, received the first visit from the angel Gabriel. During the month of Ramzan, Muslims typically complete the recitation of the whole Quran during the Taraweeh prayers, and the Quran is written in the Arabic language. Moving to the next is the Holy Book of the Christians. So the Holy Book of the Christian is the Bible. The Bible is the Holy Book of Christians. The Bible, also known as the Holy Bible, in a group of religious texts of Judaism and Christianity. It contains both Old Testament and the New Testament. The Bible includes the laws, stories, prayers, songs, and wise words. So here, the Holy Book of the Christian is the Bible. Now, again, we will do one quick revision. First, we have seen the Holy Book of the Jews, that is the Torah. The next is the Holy Book of the Hindus is Bhagavad Gita. Then the Holy Book of the Buddhists is Tripitaka. The Holy Book of the Sikh is Guru Granth. Then the Holy Book of the Muslim is Quran. And lastly, we have seen the Holy Book of the Christians, that is the Bible. So we have seen the holy books, religious books of some of the religions. Now moving to the next part, fourth part of our lesson number 2, fourth part, we will see the cities and their nicknames. Now, similarly to human beings like me and you, there are many Indian cities that have their nicknames. Most of us are aware of these Indian cities and their nicknames, but don't know the exact reason behind giving them these nicknames. So let's see why these cities got their nicknames. Now, the names of these cities are really unique and they beautifully justify the significance of particular city. Explore some of such Indian cities and their nicknames and know why these are identified with those names. So in this part, we will see why the cities of India got their nicknames. Moving to the first city, Golden City of India. So the Golden City of India is Amritsar. Amritsar is located in Punjab state. It is known as the Golden City of India because the Golden Temple, the holiest shrine for the Sikh, is located in this city. So here you can see the Golden Temple, which is situated in Amritsar. Because of that, it is known as Amritsar is known as the Golden City. So here you can see the Gurudwara is built around a man-made pool that was completed by the fourth Sikh Guru, Guru Ramdas. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, after founding the Sikh Empire, the Guru Ramdas, here you can see Guru Ramdas. Maharaja Ranjit Singh, after founding the Sikh Empire, rebuilt it in marble and copper in 1809 and overlaid the sanctum with gold foil in 1830, and this has led to the name of the Golden Temple. So here we can see Amritsar is known as the Golden City because of the Golden Temple. Moving to the next is the IT capital of India. The IT capital of India is the Bengaluru. Bengaluru nickname is IT capital of India. Bengaluru or Bangalore, officially known as now Bangalore. At first it was named as Bangalore. Now officially it is known as Bengaluru, the capital and the largest city of Indian state of Karnataka. Bangalore is situated in Karnataka. Bangalore is widely regarded as the Silicon Valley of India or the IT capital of India because of its role as the nation's leading information technology exporter. Now, Indian Technology Organization's headquarters is situated in this city and it is home to many education and research institutions. So here we have seen Bengaluru. The nickname of Bengaluru is IT capital of India. Moving to the third one is the city of pearls. So Hyderabad is known as the city of pearls. The nickname of Hyderabad is city of pearls. Hyderabad is considered the main pearl trading center in India, because of which the city is also known as the city of pearls. The most notable area devoted to the trade is the village called Chandanpet, just outside the Hyderabad, wherein almost the entire population is engaged in the delicate art of drilling pearls, a skill they have practiced for generations. So here you can see the beautiful jewelry made of pearls. And this practice also makes the city one of the largest pearl drilling location in India. So here you can see the beautiful jewelries which are made in Hyderabad. And so Hyderabad is known as the city of pearls. Moving to the next is Pink City, that is Jaipur. So Jaipur is the capital of India's Rajasthan state. It evokes the royal family that once ruled the region. Jaipur is called the Pink City because during the rule of Savai Ram Singh I, the rule of Savai Ram Singh I, the city was painted pink to welcome the HRH Albert Edward, Prince of Wales in 1876. So many of the avenues still remain painted in pink, giving Jaipur a distinctive appearance. So here the Pink City, that is Jaipur. So during the reign of Maharaj Savai Ram Singh I, the city was painted pink to welcome the HRH Albert Edward, the Prince of Wales in 1876. So many of the avenues are still remain painted in pink, giving a Jaipur a distinctive appearance. So here we have seen Jaipur. The nickname of Jaipur is Pink City. Next is the God's own country. The God's own country is Kerala. Kerala is located in South India, is an extraordinary land with almost all the elements of nature. Kerala is one of the popular tourist destinations in India. And it's known for its palm-lined beaches and backwaters. Western Ghats, mountains and whose slopes support the tea and coffee and also spice plantations. as well as wildlife. National parks like Eraviculum and Periyar and other sanctuaries are home to the elephants and other animals. So here we have seen God's own country, that is Kerala, which is located in the South India. Due to its beautiful nature elements, so Kerala is known as the God's own country. Next is the city of joy, that is Kolkata. Now, Kolkata is the capital of India's West Bengal state. The city has earned the nickname City of Joy for its soulful embodiment. Love, mystery, respect, and enthusiasm, and definitely some amazing sweet delicacies like the Rasgulla, which is famous in Kolkata, West Bengal. So in Kolkata, we can find famous places like Victoria Memorial, the Howrah Bridge, Bela Armat, the Indian Museum, Science City, and the famous Eden Gardens, the Stadium of Eden Garden. So here we have seen the city of joy, that is the Kolkata, which is the capital of India's West Bengal state. Moving to the next is city of Nawabs, which is Lucknow. Now, Lucknow is the capital city of Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. The Nawabs of Lucknow, in reality, the Nawabs of Awadh, acquired the name after the reign of third Nawab when Lucknow became the capital. The city became North India's cultural capital, and its Nawabs best remember for their refined and extravagant lifestyles. So here many Nawabs home place is there. So it is known as the city of Nawabs. So Lucknow is known as the city of Nawabs. Next is the temple city, that is Madurai. Madurai is situated in Tamil Nadu state. The city has a number of historical monuments with the Meenakshi, okay, temple city, that is Madurai. Madurai is situated in the Tamil Nadu state. The city has a number of historical monuments with the Meenakshi temple and the Tirumalai Nayak Palace. This is the Tirumalai Nayak Palace. Temple City of India is also known as the city that never sleeps. Technically, because of its nightlife, is supposedly said to be second capital of Tamil Nadu. It is one of India's most magnificent Hindu pilgrim center. So here we have seen the temple city, Madurai, which is situated in Tamil Nadu state. Moving to the next is the financial capital of India, that is Mumbai. Mumbai is called the commercial capital of India because Mumbai houses important financial institutions such as the Reserve Bank of India, Bombay Stock Exchange, and the corporate headquarters of many Indian companies. So here we have seen the commercial capital, Mumbai, because it is the houses of many important institutions such as the Reserve Bank of India, Bombay Stock Exchange, and the corporate headquarters of many Indian companies. Within Mumbai is located in Bollywood, the epicenter of country's Hindi film and the television industry. So in Mumbai, you can see there are many film stars as well as TV stars live. And it is the epicenter of country's Hindi film and television industry, producing the world's highest number of films. And also, Mumbai is the capital of Maharashtra state. Since Mumbai is a port, lots of commercial exchange take place between India and the other countries. So here we have seen the financial capital of India, that is Mumbai. Moving to the last one, that is the Scotland of the East, that is Shillong. Shillong is one of the seven sisters of India, that is the seven states. Shillong seems as the capital of Meghalaya state, and there are indeed many similarities between this and the Scotland, and this is why Shillong is called the Scotland of the East. So here we can see the similarities between the landscape is actually a major reason behind the naming. The meandering roads and the valleys. Here you can see the meandering roads and the valleys. The lakes of Scotland and Shillong too hold the stunning resemblance. So means okay, students, let's continue. Sorry for the interruption. Scotland of the East, that is the Shillong. Shillong, located in one of the seven sisters of India, that is the seven states of India. Shillong serves as the capital of Meghalaya state, and there are indeed many similarities between this and Scotland, and this is why Shillong is called the Scotland of the East. So here you can see the similarities such as the landscape is actually a major reason behind the naming. The meandering roads and the valleys, the lakes of Scotland and Shillong too hold a stunning resemblance. So here Shillong is also known as the Scotland of the East. Now, fun fact. There is a floating post office in Dal Lake, Srinagar, and it was inaugurated in August 2011. So here you can see there is a floating post office which is in Dal Lake. It is in Srinagar and it was inaugurated in August 2011. So we will do the revision once again. The golden city of India is Amritsar. The IT capital of India is Bengaluru. City of pearls, that is Hyderabad. Pink city, Jaipur. God's own country is Kerala. City of joy, that is Kolkata. City of Nawabs, which is Lucknow. The temple city, that is Madurai. Financial capital of India is Mumbai. And the last Scotland of East is Shillong. So thank you everyone. So my dear students, in this part 3 and 4, if you have any doubt, you can ask me regarding this lesson. So today we have seen the religious books. We have seen the Torah, the holy book of the Jews. Then we have seen the Bhagavad Gita, the holy book of the Hindus. Tripitaka, the holy book of the Buddhist. Then Guru Granth Sahib, the holy book of the Sikh. Then Quran, the holy book of the Muslims. Then Bible, the holy book of the Christians. Then in part 4, we have seen the cities and their nicknames. The first one, we have seen the golden city of India, that is Amritsar. Then IT capital of India, that is Bengaluru. City of pearls, Hyderabad. Then pink city we have seen, that is Jaipur. God's own country, Kerala. Then city of joy is Kolkata. City of Nawabs, that is Lucknow. Temple city is Madurai. Financial capital of India is Mumbai. And the last one, the Scotland of the East is Shillong. So I hope everyone understood. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. And I hope you have completed your workbook also. Pearl City, we have seen Hyderabad. Very good. No one has doubt. So should I ask some questions related to this part 3 and 4? So you can answer me in the chat box. Okay. Tell me the city of joy. Please type and send. City of joy. Very good, Aditya. Chanchal, yes, it's Kolkata, the city of joy. Very good, Alia, Manasvi. Yes. Next question. The Holy Book of the Christians. Holy Book of the Christians. Yes, Bible. Very good. Manasvi, Erin, Niyati, Gauri, Alia. So Bible is the holy book of the Christians. Moving to the next question. Temple city. Temple city. Temple city. Yes, Alia. Manasvi, Lakshay. Yes, it's Madurai. Prachi, check your spelling. Prachi, Erin, check your spelling. Okay, very good, everyone. You are giving the correct answer, but please check your spellings. Many of them are making the mistake. Yes, tell me the city of Nawabs. City of Nawabs. Very good, Manasvi, Aditya, Alia. Yes, Hyderabad. Sorry, Lucknow is the city of Nawabs. Gauri, it's not Hyderabad. Hyderabad is the city of pearls. So, Shruti, check your spelling. So, here we have seen city of Nawab is Lucknow. Yes, tell me the holy book of the Buddhist. Holy book of the Buddhist. Buddhist, yes, very good, Mrunal. Prachi, yes, Tripitaka is the holy book of the Buddhist. Yes, now tomorrow we will see lesson number 3, Science Around Us, part 1 and part 2. So meet you tomorrow. Be prepared and come. And tomorrow you can ask me any doubt if you have related to any lessons. Lesson number 1, 2, and 3. So bye everyone. Be safe and enjoy. Thank you everyone.